How's it going, everybody? My name is Tori Source, and welcome to vlog number 14. Um, I know this is late, and I could try and sit here and give excuses about how I was trying to convert videos I took on my camera and all these other things, but essentially it's just because I've been stuck in my room and losing motivation to do anything. So I know this is late, and I'm sorry. The bright side is that this will now be spaced decently from the other vlog. I don't know why I keep saying blog. It's a video. um, this video is going to be spaced nicely from the other one, and I'm still going to include all the other things that have happened since then. And hopefully I'll be back on track by the next one, but I can't make any promises because it's been really hard to motivate myself to do things, even the ones that I want to. So I apologize, and I hope you bear with me. So, since we last spoke, there have been 2 dances and May Dip. The 29th, I believe, was the Hall Ball, which was Alice in Wonderland themed. It was, I believe, called the Mad Hatter's Tea Party, was what they had titled it. And it was pretty fun. It was decorated really, really nicely. And I got to meet 2 new people who were friends of Emma's. And they were really sweet. They were really nice. I liked them a lot. And it was nice to have like a larger group to hang out with. So I did Dallas's makeup as well as my own, and I've got pictures that I'll be posting, and I'll be putting those here. It was a really good night overall. I think I would give it a B+. Just because of the way the night ended wasn't perfect doesn't mean the rest of it wasn't a good time. The DJ was great. Yeah, it was a good time, and some people decked out. There was this one guy who did full-on face paint like the Cheshire Cat, and I saw some people with top hats, and it was really great. It was and they had cupcakes that said "Eat me" on the top and that kind of thing. So it was a really good time. Saturday I was just really tired and didn't really do anything. Slept in a bit and went into town for dinner. We were supposed to go to Battle of the Bands because we had purchased tickets, but Dallas and I were supposed to go. But we were really, really tired and didn't want to go into town. It was chilly, and tickets had only been like £3, so we were like, we'll count it as a donation because it was a charity event, and we didn't go, so that was okay. That was on the 30th. And I never went to bed that night. As hard as I tried, because I went to bed early. It was like 11:45, and I was like, you know what? May Dip is tomorrow morning. We have to leave by 4:30, and I'm gonna get some shut-eye. I don't think I can stay up all night. And I tossed and turned from about 11:30, 11:45 until I heard screaming all around the hall, because everyone else in the hall was just drinking and trying to stay up until then. So there was like screaming around midnight and then again at like 2 a.m. So I never settled into sleep. I just kind of laid there resting my eyes essentially, but never passed out. And I was up and ready to go by 4:30, and we left. We walked down to the East Sands, and oh man, it was unlike anything I've ever done. I'm kind of at a loss for words. There were so many people, and it was a great time. There were bonfires. I've got video of the whole thing, and I've got video of a synopsis I gave afterwards. So I'm going to play those right here.
Alright, son, let's go then!
How's it going, everybody? So I'm back in my room, back from May Dip. It's like 5:30 in the morning-ish, and I'm about to go to bed because I never slept last night. I'm so tired. I just wanted to check in really quick before I knock it off and give some lasting impressions, I guess. It was a really great time. I think if the semester had kicked off with an event like this, it would have been really, really different. Set a different tone completely. But it was definitely a great way to end it as well. So there were lots of naked people, and it was a lot of fun. Campfires, and there was one person juggling fire. I didn't go all the way deep, but I got to like upper thigh area, and my legs were numb. I thought I might go into shock or trip or something, but I will talk about that later when I'm not exhausted and let you guys know completely in full detail how it went. But just wanted to go ahead and record this while still fresh in my mind. Yeah, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Afterwards, we tried to find some place to get breakfast. The North Point opened up at 5 a.m. to provide breakfast, but it was so incredibly packed when we walked by. We tried to find somewhere else, but it was super, super early, and the only other place that opened early was at 7, but it was like 5:45 when we were walking around and no one wanted to wait in town that long. So we just headed back, and I knocked out from 6:30 a.m. until I think 4:30 p.m. And then I had to get up and get dinner and then get dressed and ready for the May ball that was that night. So May 1st was packed. It was a really crazy day. I did my own makeup as well as Dallas's. It was wild. We caught a cab to go to where it was, which I believe, I don't remember anymore, but I think it was, I'm gonna look it up. I don't remember. I don't remember the name of the place, but it was like 5-10 minutes off campus. And it was really, really interesting to say the least. I don't have too many pictures because I only took some when we first got there and then ended up checking my camera. Just because it's hard to have a camera, like a full-size camera around your neck and dance and walk around and stuff like that. And I figured it'd be safer back there than it would be with me walking around with it. And no one could spill a drink on it back there or anything like that. And it's not exactly like someone could steal it because it was people hired to work there. I had my number. I knew who worked. Well, I didn't know them personally, but I could have pointed them out. And at the end of the night when I got it back, I checked and made sure the memory card and battery was still in there and that it still works. It was perfectly fine. Mayball was interesting. We were told it was a black tie event um, before we even left. We were told by a couple different people that St. Andrews is big on dances and big on formal balls. So we purchased floor length gowns, Dallas and I did, to be ready for a formal event. And only the guys that were there were regularly dressed in black tie formal attire. I was really disappointed because the girls that were there were others in floor length dresses, but there were also some girls who looked like they're about to go to a club afterwards or had just come from one. It was just kind of annoying because if I could have gone in something more comfortable, I mean, I saw a girl there in a jumper. If I could have gone there in pants and a shirt, I would have because it was carnival themed, which I also didn't know, and they didn't really advertise it that way. But there were bumper cars, and I don't know what they're called. Oh, there are also teacups, but I don't think it's a merry-go-round. It's not, but it's those rides where it gets up and you're in the cars and it spins really fast. I can't think of what they're called, but they had one of those, and it was it was just not as classy as they let it as the group that did it was the Kate Kennedy club on campus, and they're supposed to be super super fancy, super high class, super sophisticated, blah blah, that kind of thing, and then the event really wasn't. I mean, like the band slash DJ. I don't know. It was a DJ and then a girl playing a saxophone live, whatever you want to call that, was kind of cool. And then there was another DJ in a different area, and that was kind of neat. But I think it was pretty overrated. I was so disappointed in the people there too, because a lot of people were incredibly rude. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but at least in St. Andrews, I don't want to overgeneralize, but at least in St. Andrews, when you're walking down the street, there's no courtesy between pedestrians about moving out of each other's way. And I always end up having to be the person to completely move out of a person or a group of people's way. People will just walk in lines next to one another. And it's one of the most ridiculous things. And at the Kate Kennedy Ball, it was like that, but worse because people were drunk and didn't realize or didn't care if they were bumping into you or leaning on you. When we went to the bar, we were standing in the line because there were open spaces, and we each, it was Dallas, Lydia, and I, we each had an order to place because we each wanted a drink. And there was this group of girls, one was coming this way, the other was coming the other way, and they met up directly behind us, which would be fine. It's loud in there. Everyone's loud. Whatever. That's fine. But one girl was so drunk, she just kept leaning back and elbowing Lydia and I. And it was ridiculous. And there, that happened tons of times. Nobody had any common courtesy. And it's not even a function of like being being proper, it's common courtesy. Just like be nice to strangers when you don't know them. Like they haven't done anything to you. Just be nice. And I don't want to make it sound like I didn't have a good time, but it was very different than what I anticipated. And we ended up only staying from, I think we got there at 9:30, between 9:30 and 10, and we left a little after midnight. And the event ended at 2, so we left pretty early comparatively, but I think I got my money's worth, and I'm glad I went, certainly. But they should maybe change their advertising or their rules and maybe do a couple etiquette classes. And that's really it for the exciting bits of this vlog, but I will talk about what I did for the rest of the week. Whoa, rest of the week. I don't know where that came from. Which is mostly nothing. Watching a lot of YouTube, a lot of Netflix, sleeping in a lot, way too often. On Tuesday, on the 3rd, I started watching Markiplier play Alien Isolation, which is a horror game based off of the Alien movies with Sigourney Weaver. And he was talking about how much he loved the movies, and I wanted to be able to pick up references in the video game, so I stopped watching and watched Aliens, which I thought I had seen. I thought I had seen the first movie, or Alien, I thought I had seen. It turns out I hadn't. I had seen the sequel, Aliens, when I was like 9 or 10 or something like that. And so I ended up watching the first 3 Alien movies, and the next day I ended up watching um, Alien Resurrection and Prometheus. Um, so like the whole Alien universe is kind of took over my life for like 2 days. So it was kind of funny and it was good to watch them. Um, I won't give spoilers for any of you who haven't seen it. However, most of those have been out for over 20 years, so what are you doing with your life if you haven't seen them? Not like they're that holy grail worthy, you have to go see them, but like it's a pop culture reference. So just watch it. Watch the first one at least. The first 2 I think were really good. The third and Resurrection, not so much. I didn't like those at all. And it was mostly because they were so disjointed compared to the first 2. The character development that Ripley had from the first movie to the second movie, I could see. I could work with it. It kind of made sense. But like they just really abused her character from how it developed from the second onward, and I was just really disappointed in it. Prometheus was different than I thought it was going to be, but I really enjoyed it. And I remember when it was being advertised for theaters and it getting really mixed reviews. Some people praised it as being, this incredible thing, and others were like, this was really stupid, I wasted my money. And I never saw it in theater. But I watched it, and I think the first Alien movie and Prometheus go together really, really well in that they did a good job. Like Ridley Scott did a really good job with both of them. Yeah, I would recommend watching at least those 2, if nothing else. But maybe the second one as well. On Wednesday, when I was watching the last installments of the Alien Universe movie, I'm not counting Alien vs. Predator. I actually have seen those, and they're really ridiculous, and I'm not counting those, and I'm not counting the Predator movies. But on that day, I watched Alien Resurrection and Prometheus that evening after dinner, and then I wasn't tired, and so I was like, okay, I'll watch some YouTube, and I watched a bunch of beauty vlogs, and I wasn't tired. It was like 3 a.m., but I was like, okay, and I watched this movie called Hysteria, and it was hilarious. It is definitely more for a female audience, I will say that. I will leave it at that, but it's worth investigating if you like, I'll say, romantic comedies, but it's also not really a romantic comedy. Look it up. It's on Netflix. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Just look it up, ladies. I don't know any guys who would probably like that movie. But I watched that, and it was really, really funny. And then it was like 5 or 6 a.m., and I was like, well, I'm still not tired, and just didn't go to bed. I wanted to stay up the entirety of the next day, but I ended up crashing at 9:30 and accidentally slept until 4:30 because for some reason my alarm for lunch didn't go off. I'm not sure why, but after dinner, I went to get ice cream with Dallas, and that was nice. And then we went to Luvian's because we had tried this pear cider at Cromar's the other day, and it was so delicious. It was sweet, it had no back end. It was just really a really pleasant drinking experience. And so we wanted to find it and see if it was cheaper anywhere else. And Tesco didn't have it. So we went to Luvian's and they did. And they had 3 flavors. And I kept the labels because they're really beautiful, which I know is kind of weird. This is the original. This is the original pear flavor. We also tried the red label, which is lingonberry, which I had never heard of. And the best way, if it'll come into focus, the best way I know how to describe the taste of it is when you have a Tootsie Pop and you get right to the part where you're getting to the chocolate, but there's still a little bit of hard candy around it. I think it tasted kind of like cherry just when you get to the Tootsie Pop center, which is really bizarre and it was really weird. But it was interesting. And they also had elderflower, which was the green label. But we bought those and they were really good. I don't know if you can get them in the States, but they're worth looking for. The only place I could think that would have them in Virginia anyways would be Total Wine. I don't know of anywhere else that would. But if you want to try them, I would go there. They're very, very good if you like sweet drinks. And that's kind of it. We hung out in her room, drinking the ciders we got and watching YouTube. And that's really it. Today, I didn't really do anything. You may have noticed the background is different, and it's because today I pushed my desk in front of my window so I could have more balanced lighting. That's why my lamp is on this side, and I've kind of got the glare going on. But I have not done anything else except record this, and I'm gonna post it same day. Today's Friday, so you'll be getting this on Friday. And if this doesn't get posted on Friday, I am the worst, and I am sorry. But I'm gonna post it today, I'm pretty sure. So hold me to it. I can't think of anything else to add or to talk about, so if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button or send it to a friend, and if you haven't subscribed already, maybe consider doing so. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!